recently moved into a new apartment and I am being very intentional about how I fill the space, and I'm really trying to go one room at a time so that I can be very intentional about how I decorate, how I organize myself, how I fill each space. It's a 2-bedroom apartment and I'll give you a full proper tour once it's all complete. But I thought I would start with my bedroom today, the primary bedroom, and some of the ways that I have turned it, as well as my closet, into a place where I really love to spend time and that feels, hopefully, I mean, to me it feels calming and relaxing. There are a couple of ideas that I hope you like, a couple things I want to share with you, so let's jump on in. We spend the majority of our time in our bedrooms either sleeping or getting dressed. These are two of my favorite things. So I really wanted to start with my bed. I love to prioritize sleep, and it also works out that today's video sponsor is Boll & Branch, a wonderful bedding company. So when they reached out, I thought this is like perfect timing. You know, I've shopped bed sheets before and I've looked at thread count, and I don't know, I've never really felt a difference. But these, I've been sleeping in them for a while because I always test things out before I talk about them. And I have to say, sleeping in these bed sheets, it feels a little bit like sleeping, you know, like if you've ever had the opportunity and the privilege of staying over at a really nice hotel, everything just feels more luxurious and like sleek and cool and cozy. That is what sleeping in these bed sheets feels like. So there were several things that really attracted me to Boll & Branch. Their textiles, their fabrics are GOTS certified organic cotton, and they are fair trade certified. So I liked those things because they aligned with my values. But once I got the product in and I've washed it a few times, their sheets really do get better with age. And the more you use them and sleep in them and wash them, they're super soft. They have such a wonderful hand feel. And that's always when it comes to fabrics and textiles. I find the hand feel of the textile is one of the greatest tells in terms of quality and longevity. And just the quality of the construction I've really enjoyed too. Like I love how the pillowcases have a zipper closure, so does the duvet cover. I'm so used to like buttons falling off the duvet closures and pillowcases looking and feeling kind of floppy after a while. Like these Boll & Branch sheets have been really beautiful addition to my bedroom and of course to my bed and my sleep. They're just wonderful. Something that I thought was interesting about Boll & Branch was that they place a higher priority and focus on the quality of the threads and the textile itself versus thread count. Like I said, I've purchased bed sheets with like a high thread count and they've fallen apart, or, you know, I haven't really felt a big difference. And I think looking at just the quality of the thread versus something that can feel kind of arbitrary or just like another kind of marketing thing that you can put on a product, this feels like a more holistic approach and a more like bottom-up approach, which I really liked. It's been, gosh, like it's 25, it's been hot at night and I've been able to sleep without my AC, but still with the duvet cover on because I like having that weight on me. These sheets are super breathable. That's what I'm trying to say. So I've been really impressed with the breathability of the fabric as well. I chose their signature hemmed duvet cover set in Sky, their signature hemmed sheet set in white, and I also finished everything off with their bed blanket, which is this beautiful waffle texture. I got it in white, but they have plenty of other color options that are all very like tranquil and harmonious and work really well if you've got neutrals or even other bright colors in your home. They're all very soft. So I think you've got that nice sort of harmonious feel with their color palettes, but I like the Sky. I think it'll work easily in both spring, summer, and fall, winter. I think I'll be really happy with both the color and the weight of these textiles. If you are redecorating or just moving into your own space and you want to indulge in a certain part of your space, or you need new bed sheets and you're looking for a company that is fair trade certified and uses organic cotton, then I would encourage you to look at Boll & Branch. You can use my discount code AlyssaB20. That will give you 20% off. But like always with all of my sponsored content, only shop if you really need it. This was really, really good timing for me and I've been so happy with how these sheets have worked worked out. I will leave all of the links to the products that I chose in the description box below, so you can use that discount code if you like on those. I hope that they bring you some good comfort and some good sleeps if you do end up making the purchase. The second idea that I had for my primary bedroom that I think is really important that often gets overlooked is functionality and incorporating as much functionality in my space as possible so that it's easy for me to spend time here and that I actually want to spend time in here and even maintaining it. I find the same tricks that I apply to wanting to rewear my clothes and loving what I already have in my closet applied to this space as I was creating it. So certain things like making sure as much furniture as possible or like storage was off the floor. I don't mind cleaning, but I would obviously rather be doing other things. So I find when everything is off the floor as much as possible, it feels like an airier, easier space to maintain. So I used a lot of floating shelves to both work with some of the art that I wanted to put up, but also for just storage. My room is a bit of an irregular shape, so it doesn't really have the configuration required for a traditional like 2 nightstands and a dresser. Luckily, my closet is huge and it already had a lot of built-ins there, so that was fairly easy to organize. But for now, the floating shelves were huge, and I saw this really cool hack on Instagram, and I was able to put this little dish drying rack mounted on the wall, and that's where I keep my books beside my bed. I'm not the biggest TV watcher. I often read books before I go to bed or if I just want to relax, and I love how I can use this little dish rack to keep all of the books that I've currently got on rotation, and then I just topped it off with a floating shelf because I do like to have like a little bit of a calming tea before bed, or I put my glasses there or whatever. So I needed a little bit of that extra storage, and this floating shelf was perfect. The other pieces of functionality that I incorporated were this coat stand that I've had for years. It's not new, and instead of using it for coats, which I find can look really bulky in a small space, I'm using it instead to hold some of my purses, which I'm really hoping to whittle down. What I also love about this is that it kind of forces me to look at all the purses I have, and like, I'm not a purse person. I don't like purses. Why do I have so many purses? I'm gonna let go of some. I don't claim to be like an art aficionado. I don't know what makes good art. For me personally, art can be anything. I think you can find beauty and design and inspiration from literally anything. It just depends on what's calling to you. So for example, I've got this wonderful book that was gifted to me on my birthday this year, and it's a very simple book, but I keep it up there even though I'm still in the midst of reading it. I liked putting it on my shelf because it's an inspirational read, and I don't know, it is art in itself, just of a different kind. I've also put up on a small floating shelf some of my glasses, which again, they're sunglasses and they're like the glasses I wear on a daily basis, but the design is beautiful. When I acquired them, I chose them for a reason. I love the way they look both on and off my face. Why wouldn't I want to display them? That's art too. So I think, you know, in addition to beautiful prints or traditional art forms that call to you, if you're starting to build a space from scratch, and maybe if you're also starting to build a life from scratch, or you're entering a new phase in life, maybe don't overlook the possessions you already have and see if they inspire you and if you can put them on display in an artistic way that feels like home and that gives you a comfort when you look at them. I do have 2 traditional pieces of art that I have to share with you. The first is this print here. It's a Picasso from MoMA that I got a recent trip to New York, and that was a really great trip. It was my first time traveling to New York alone. I've traveled alone many times before, but like, New York's a big city, you know? This print, which I have to call out, so good. This incredible illustrator, Julie Hoots or Houts, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. This print just fully spoke to me when she posted it on her feed, and I just had to have it. It's like, it's practically me. So those are the only 2 pieces of art that, you know, traditional pieces of art that really resonated with me from that sense. Because this is still a new space for me, I want to be able to change things up a little and maybe move them depending on how I'm really feeling in this space. So I'm keeping them on the shelves for now. I think they're gonna stay there. Like, they look fantastic. Oh, there you are. Even if you're just moving in, we have a tendency tendency to be really pragmatic and be like, I need a bed, I need a nightstand, and yes, functionality always comes first. We tend to leave the like frivolous things for last, but if it feeds your soul, I don't think it's frivolous at all. So that's the art. I've done an entire video on how to organize your closet and merchandise it so that it feels like a boutique, and that will make you want to shop it more and find your clothes more appealing. So I'll leave that up here for you. It's an old one. If you want a refresh on that, let me know in the comments below. But for this closet in particular, it's rather large and it already had shelves and racks built in. So I had to work with what I had there. One of the first things I did to organize this space and make it feel more like me was to add or to go out and get some shoe shelves. I think when you have shoes lined up on the floor, if it's not like in a really clean and minimal space, shoes on the floor to me just feels messy, they get dusty, and then I don't want to wear them. So getting those shoe racks in was really important. And because the closet is configured in such a way that I can't see everything all the time, I used a lot of basket storage so that at least everything was organized in those categories. So I've put all of my foldable knits either in baskets or all on one shelf. Just that way, at least the categories are organized. And I know if I pull one basket out, it's gonna be all the same thing. Sometimes when you're faced with a closet that is quite large, maybe you're not quite sure what to do with it, just compartmentalizing was really helpful for me. I've mentioned this before in other videos. I love to organize my clothes so that it is light to dark, and I do that within each category. So all of my shirts together, my bottoms, my trousers, dresses, and I've kept a seasonal section. So on one side that I don't use as often, I've put winter, fall, those kinds of things, and then also a lot of summer dresses. I don't wear dresses that often in the summer, so I've given them sort of their own section, and I always keep the items, my go-tos, at eye level in a place that is most accessible. So that is what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you like this kind of video in the comments below. Again, a big thank you to Boll & Branch for sponsoring today's video. Don't forget I have that discount code for you. AlyssaB20 will get you 20% off. I will leave all of the details of what I have from Boll & Branch and the links to those items in the description box below. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for being here, for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, if you learned something new. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will be back with another slow fashion video. Thank you so much for watching. Ciao.